What do you do with stacks of a radioactive substance? We're talking about the byproduct of phosphate mining. Some lawmakers in Florida want to use it in road construction, but others say that would be dangerous. I spoke with experts on both sides of the issue, and they say they're both looking at it from the environment's point of view. More people in Florida means more road construction. That's certainly the case in Northeast Florida, where population is booming. Meanwhile, something else Florida has a lot of is something called phosphogypsum, also known as PG. It's the byproduct of phosphate. So when phosphate fertilizer is made, so is PG, and PG is stored in stacks that look like mini mountains in Florida, mostly Central Florida.
Hundreds of acres wide and hundreds of feet tall. There are more than 1 billion tons of this radioactive waste already stored in 25 gyp stacks across Florida.
So what do you do with all that PG? Is there a way to use it for something?
So currently it cannot be used for anything, considering it's incredibly hazardous and toxic.
The Environmental Protection Agency says all uses of phosphogypsum waste have been banned unless the waste has very little radioactivity. But a bill before Florida lawmakers would give the green light to using PG in road construction. A group called Phosphate Innovative Initiative is looking for ways to use PG. A video on its website is with a University of Florida professor, and he says road construction materials may be a viable use for PG, better than leaving it in piles, he says.
Possible. And there's some disadvantages to just taking gypsum and putting it in a big pile and leaving it there forever. If we can figure out a way to do it safely and productively, it just makes so much more sense.
But that makes no sense to an environmental group called the Center for Biological Diversity, which says radioactive PG could be toxic for the ecosystem next to any roads built with it, let alone to the construction workers who handle it.
I think there's no better way to explain this than to cater to the phosphate industry.
One group looks at those mountains of PG and sees opportunity. Another side sees them as a road to the danger zone. Okay, so we're talking about two different bills here, and essentially one would allow for limited use, kind of like a trial use of the material on roadways, and then it would also allow for testing, but the deadline for that testing to see how safe it could be is the start of the new year, and some people are saying that would just be too quick of a research project.